Constructing Pothe Bridge with own money brightens country's image, says PM. Government intensifies repression to subdue its opponents ahead of next election, claims for crew. Bodies of 14 victims of Nepal plane crash recovered so far. Assalamu alaikum. This is Nusrat Islam welcoming you all to Evening News. You have just had the headlines. Now let's move on to the details. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina on Monday said that the decision of building the Pothe multipurpose bridge, which is set to open for traffic on 25th June next, brighten the country's image in the world. The Prime Minister was addressing the Army Selection Board 2022 meeting at the Army Headquarters Multipurpose Complex at Dhaka Cantonment. Referring to the Army's various nation-building and social activities, she said Bangladesh Army has always made contributions to the country's overall development. That included building infrastructure. The Prime Minister asked the Army to gain the confidence and trust of the masses through their activities. She said all, including the armed forces, police and BGB, have stood beside the people in their hardship during the COVID-19 pandemic. BNP is observing the 41st death anniversary of its founder and former President Zia Rahman across the country with due reverence on Monday. Zia Rahman, who founded BNP in 1978, was assassinated by a group of disgruntled army officers at Chittagong Circuit House on 30th May 1981. BNP senior leaders, led by Party Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir, placed wreaths at Zia's grave at Shere Bangla Nagar in the morning. The party leaders of Dhaka South and North City units distributed food and relief materials among the destitute in different parts of the city. The party's all district, city and Thana units are also observing the day with various programs, including discussions to be participated by BNP senior leaders. BNP on Monday vowed to move ahead, braving what it said the government's intensified repression to subdue its opponents ahead of the next election. Talking to reporters beside the grave of BNP founder Zia Rahman, BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir alleged that the unelected Awami League government has long been resorting to repression, killing, enforced disappearance, and unleashing terror to hang on to power. Fakhrul said they had been observing for some days that the ruling party men again established a reign of terror in the old style as the election was approaching. He alleged that the ruling party cadres had attacked Chhatrodal and their leaders and activists and their houses in different districts.
ত্রাস সৃষ্টি করছে আমাদের ছাত্র দলের উপরে হামলা আমাদের বিভিন্ন জেলাগুলোতে হামলা আমাদের নেতা কর্মীদের উপরে হামলা বাড়িঘরে হামলা আজকে একটা ভয়াবহ ত্রাসের রাজত্ব সৃষ্টি করেছে গণতন্ত্রকে ফিরিয়ে আনার জন্য এই দেশের মানুষ সংগ্রামে নেমেছে ইতিমধ্যে রাজপথে রক্ত ঝরেছে ইনশাআল্লাহ এর মধ্যে দিয়েই এই দেশ গণতন্ত্র ফিরে পাবে
Awami League General Secretary Obaidul Qadir today said that the BNP leaders are carrying out smear campaign against all mega projects as they are jealous of the government's success in this regard. He said this while addressing a virtual press briefing from his residence in Dhaka on Monday.
ফখরুল সাহেব দেশের সম্পদকে কেউ যদি বিদেশে পাচার করে এবং সেটা যদি ফিরিয়ে আনা হয় সেটা শয়তানি কারবার হবে কেন শয়তানি কারবার তো আপনারাই করেছেন বিদেশে অর্থ পাচার করে আপনাদের নেতা আজকে দণ্ডিত পলাতক আসামি
A woman who reportedly harassed and assaulted a girl for wearing indecent clothes in Norshingdi railway station was arrested by the Rapid Action Battalion. The accused, Sheila Akhtar Saima, was arrested at her relative's house in Shibpur of Norshingdi. Norsingdi railway station master ATM Musa said that 2 young men and a young woman wearing jeans and tops were waiting for a train at Norsingdi railway station at about 5:30 p.m. on Wednesday. One of the young men had a tattoo in his arm. Seeing this, a woman standing at the station made an indecent comment. At one stage, the woman got involved in a quarrel with the group, he said. At that time, some other people approached them and started beating the young woman who was wearing jeans and a top. The young woman took shelter in the station master's room to save herself from the mob. The incident was later resolved through the mediation of the station master. Pro-Awami League lawyers panel সম্মিলিত আইনজীবী সমন্বয় পরিষদ swept the election to the Bangladesh Bar Council, official election results said. Attorney General A.M. Aminuddin, chairman of the Bar Council, announced official results of the election early Sunday. সম্মিলিত আইনজীবী সমন্বয় পরিষদ, the Awami League-backed lawyers panel, bagged 10 out of the total 14 posts, while the pro-BNP lawyers জাতীয়তাবাদী আইনজীবী ঐক্য panel won the remaining 4 posts. The Awami League-blessed contenders have bagged 4 posts among 7 general posts and 6 among 7 group posts. The official results were declared at the Bar Council auditorium at night 4 days after the polls were held throughout the country on 25th May. Leaders and activists of a Chhatra League, student wing of the ruling Awami League, allegedly beat up a journalist at Mother Box Hall of Rajshahi University on Sunday night. Injured journalist Shahabuddin Ahmed works for an online news portal. Witnesses said RUBCL Mother Box Hall Unit Vice President Giyasuddin Kajol and 2 of his fellow activists beat up Shahabuddin Ahmed as the latter asked Giyasuddin not to smoke in the television room. Shahabuddin Ahmed said that while he, along with other students, was watching the final match of the Indian Premier League at the dormitory's television room, Giyasuddin Kajol started smoking. Shahabuddin said that Kajol went heavy on him and beat him up as he asked him not to smoke in the TV room. Rescuers in Nepal have so far recovered 14 bodies from the crash site of a small plane carrying 22 people. An airport official said on Monday. The wreckage of the plane, operated by Nepali carrier Tara Air, was recovered in Mastang district in northern Nepal. The passenger plane was on a 20-minute flight when it lost contact with air traffic control 5 minutes before it was due to land. The search is ongoing for the remaining passengers, an official said. 4 Indians, 2 Germans, and 16 Nepalis were on board the plane, according to reports. But the search operations were hampered by bad weather and mountainous terrain and only resumed on Monday morning. Now cricket. Hardik Pandya produced a magnificent all-round display as Gujarat Titans won the Indian Premier League in their first season with a 7-wicket victory over Rajasthan Royals. Titans captain Pandya took 3 wickets for 17, including the prize scalp of England's Joss Butler for 39 to restrict Royals to 130 runs, losing 9 wickets and then hit 34 from 30 balls. Shubham Gill top scored with 45 not out, and the India batter hit the first ball of the 18th over for 6 to win the match in front of a record crowd of almost 105,000 people in Ahmedabad. The Titans' triumph was built on a good draft. Mohammad Shami, Rashid Khan, Lockie Ferguson and Pandya combined to make up an excellent bowling attack, with batting power coming from Gill, David Miller and Matthew Wade. Before ending, let's have a look on the headlines once again. Constructing Podda Bridge with own money brightens country's image, says PM. Government intensifies repression to subdue its opponents ahead of a next election, claims Fokrul. Bodies of 14 victims of a Nepal plane crash recovered so far. And that's all from the newsroom for now. To know updates, videos of this bulletin, visit our website www.ntvbd.com. Besides, visit our YouTube and verified Facebook page for updates of NTV's all popular programs and bulletins. Our next bulletin, Shontar Khobor, will be aired in Bangla at 7:30 p.m. Thank you for being with us. Have a good time.